Yeah, so hey, I'm at the park right now, and my uh, my 12-year-old son Cameron turns 13 today, so today's his birthday. We celebrated yesterday, and tonight he's at a youth event with the church. So me and my wife and my 10-year-old are at the park, and they're off there playing, and God just put something on my heart to share with you guys. So I went ahead and fired up the camera. And anyway, so this morning at church, we're doing a sermon series on the spiritual disciplines. Like reading the Bible and praying, fasting, just the things that we do as believers, and kind of looking into why we do them. How to do them with like the right heart and motivation and all that. It's really good. And that's not what I'm going to talk about in this video, but one of the things that that Pastor touched on this morning was he was talking about imitating Jesus, about being like him. And he asked a question at one point in the message about, and he just asked us, who did we have, as on our wall, like you hang posters on your wall when you're a kid, and asked us, who did we have hanging on our wall. And the first person that spoke out, I got mosquitoes, I'm sorry. First person that spoke out said Michael Jackson. And so then I said Michael Jordan. And then, of course, my lovely wife said New Kids on the Block, which was fantastic. It was great. So anyway, his point was, we hang those posters on the wall of people that we want to be like, that we want to imitate. Then he asked the question, or he said, or made the statement that none of us probably had Jesus on our wall, and just to kind of get us thinking as to why that might be, that we didn't have a poster of Jesus, but just the whole idea of imitating Jesus, imitating God, being more and more like Him, kind of got my mind working, and I was thinking about something, Ephesians 5 verse 1 and 2. Talk about imitating God and walking in love as Christ loved us and so forth. So it was that whole idea of imitating God. And I actually spoke on this at the mission, one of my last Devo that I did there before graduating, about imitating God, and how, the thing about imitating God or imitating Jesus or being like Him, is you can't imitate something if you don't know what you're imitating, if you don't know the person, the character, and the thing is, like, if I were to be in a play, like a Broadway play, let's say it was the musical production of Shrek, okay? If I was to go audition for that play and they wanted me to play the character of Donkey, right? But I'd never seen Shrek, never heard the story, didn't know who Donkey was. I would have a really hard time playing that character if I didn't know anything about that character. So the idea of imitating God and imitating Christ, it's good. It's a good principle, and yes, we should all strive towards that. But in order to do that, you have to know God. You have to know the character of Christ. You have to know the way He acts, the way He lives, the way He responds, the way that He interacts with people. You can't just kind of, hear the gospel story, learn about God's saving grace and all that, and expect to truly imitate Christ or be a Christ follower. Because until you get that deep relationship with Him and really learn what He is all about, then you're gonna have a really hard time being like Him. So anyway, I wanted to shoot this quick video just to encourage you guys, if you don't know Christ, or if you're struggling in your walk, to really dig into the character of Christ. And you have to know him. You have to know him. You can't, like I said, you can't just hear the gospel story and say a prayer and think, oh, I'm good. It doesn't really work that way. The Bible tells us we're to imitate Christ. We're to be basically on point, in season and out of season. That basically means, and Pastor talked about this morning too, that kind of the on the spot thing, where we for some reason think that when you put on the spot and it's time to really show the love of God, or respond the way that Jesus would, that just somehow that we're just going to know how to do it. And it doesn't work that way. You don't do good in sports. You don't do good if you're playing a part in a play. Okay, going back to the play, like if I were, or the musical, the Broadway production, whatever, if I were to play that, if I were to get the role of the character of Donkey, I couldn't just go read the lines, read over the script, and then just show up the night of the performance and pull it off. I couldn't do that. Like I'd have to practice. I'd have to live it out. I'd have to be in character. I'd have to learn what that character is all about, and walk in that and be in character. And that's the same thing when we put on Christ, when we put on this new life and put off the old. We are to imitate Christ, and we're to be in character. And that's not saying we're faking it. That's not saying that we're putting up a front, to make people think, oh, I'm a great Christian, I do this and this and that. No, it becomes the way you live. It becomes, the character of Christ becomes your character. You do away with the old man. You do away with your old character, because that character got you in trouble. That character was sending you down the road to hell. The new character, once you accept Jesus Christ, you start taking on the character of him. You start imitating him. You start, living your life for him and being like him. And, so anyway, that's just what God had placed on my heart, to tell you guys that, if you're struggling at all in your Christian walk, if you don't understand Christianity, or whatever the case may be, that's it. You can't just hear the gospel story, say you believe. It can't end there, So, anyway, guys, I hope this was encouraging. Like I said, God put this on my heart to share it, so I'm sure there's somebody out there that needs to hear this. Subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment, share this video, and also, just a little bit, real quick. Me and my wife are going to be starting a ministry soon. We're actually starting. We're in the works right now. We're talking to a couple pastors, a couple of churches. We've talked to a couple people that will possibly be teaming up with us, partnering with us. But basically, we're going to be helping people. We're going to be focusing on people that are in addiction, people that are, basically at rock bottom. And the thing is, we're told to be the light of the world and to expose darkness. And that's not a judgmental thing. That's not saying, oh, you're doing wrong. That's hey, you're in the dark, come to the light. Here's the light, here's where you can see. It's not that we expose people, it's people are in darkness and we turn the light on for them. It's really as simple as that. So anyway, we're going to be working with people that are in addiction, that are in just bad situations in life, and helping them take that next step to get back on track. The ministry is going to be focused on people in addiction and helping them get to faith-based rehab programs and discipleship training programs, things like that. So stay tuned for more news about that as we move forward, and be in prayer with us. If you will commit to pray with us, that would be greatly appreciated. Leave a comment below, just letting us know that you're praying with us, and we in turn will be praying for you. And thank you guys for watching this, and subscribe to the channel, share the videos, and have a blessed day.